Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wisconsin Greg Show. It's Monday, July 20th, 2020. I thought I'd go out and check the crops. I haven't been out in the fields for a while. Some of my new subscribers may not know that I have a small farm. I don't have very much. It's only 40 acres of corn and 40 acres of soybeans. No animals, just crops. But anyways, I thought I'd go out and check them today and see how they're doing. At the beginning of the season, when the corn was probably anywhere from like 12 to 20 inches, it got really dry. Luckily the rain came kind of in time to save it. As you can see, it looks like it's doing real well. I brought a tape measure with me. I'm just kind of curious how tall it is because it's really tall. I'm 5 foot 11 inches, and this stuff is way over my head, so I'm gonna see how tall it is. And then I thought I'd go for a walk through the fields and check them inside the fields and see how they're doing. So I thought I'd bring you along with me and see what it's like. It's a little bit cooler here today than it has been. Not much, but a little bit. It's going to be in the lower 80s today. We had a couple weeks there where we were in the low 90s, low to mid 90s, and it was hot. Real humid up here and stuff in Wisconsin. But that's perfect growing weather for the corn, and the rain just kept coming just at the right amount of times. The last rain that we did have was pretty windy. I was getting a little bit worried, but it didn't last long. Didn't hurt nothing, so far so good. We're not out of the woods yet, but when it gets bigger like this and starting to make ears, we're getting closer to having more of a chance of having a good crop. So anyways, I'm gonna take this tape measure and just kind of see how tall it is. I'm gonna stand next to it so you can get a comparison. I'm 5 foot 11 inches, and this stuff is way above my head. So just kind of curious how tall it is myself. This is not even the highest spot. There's some over here that's taller. So I'm just gonna do the average here. Like 104 inches, about 4 inches less than 9 feet right now. So that's pretty tall, and it's still growing. I'm gonna bring the camera up here closer. Actually, I'm gonna take you inside the field and we'll take a closer look at the ears here. The wind the other day, I was getting a little nervous, but actually it was probably a good thing so to have some wind because it spreads the pollen out, so it'll get good pollination. So that's probably was a good thing too. So let me bring the camera up here closer. Okay, I'm right up here next to it on the edge of the field here, and you can see the ears are coming in. Most of them all have like 2 years on them so far, and they're doing pretty darn good. Looking pretty healthy, I would say. I'm going to walk inside the field here and take a look at them and see how they're doing. Go in a little bit, see what it looks like inside the field. Definitely pollinating. When I'm moving the corn, I can see the powder coming down, pollen. These are 30-inch rows. The weed control seemed to work pretty good this year. Very rarely do you see a weed. My phone is covered with pollen. Hopefully that don't get all over my lens. probably should have done the cornfield walk last, did the soybeans first, because my phone is just getting really covered with pollen. So anyways, they're all looking pretty good. The ears are pretty steady all the way through here. Hopefully we keep getting the rain and the warm and the sun, and we'll be setting ourselves up for a pretty decent year the way it's looking so far. I'm going to stop here and just take a quick peek. And you can see there's an ear there, and there's another one just starting right here. So they're coming. So I'm going to get out of here before I start sneezing like crazy from all this pollen. But yeah, I'm real happy with the weed control. 0 weeds. Very, very almost 0. I'll have to come out here some night, do a night cornfield walk. That could be interesting. So I'm back to where I'm going to be getting out of the field here. So I'm going to take my tripod in the house and grab my gimbal, and I'll meet you out in the soybean field. Be right back with you in just a second. Wanted to show you something before I come back to the bean field. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Look at the dark part of my hat. You might be able to see it. It's just covered with pollen. So that's good. That's a good thing. Get those kernels starting. So, see you in the bean field. Okay, I'm out here in the middle of the soybean field. They're doing pretty darn good. I'll take a tape measure here and measure them. This is where most of them are in height. So right around 2 feet they are. I did walk through some on the way up here that were up to my waist. I'll show you that on my way back. They're really, really tall, but majority of them are only around 2 feet. They did spray it about 2 weeks ago and took care of the volunteer corn. You can kind of see that right there, the brown that's in the center of the screen there. I'll try to zoom in on it. That was some corn that got left over from last year. A few seeds must have fell off there. It's called volunteer corn. And that's been sprayed, and it's all dead, and so that's all taken care of. Weed control is very, very good. You have to look really hard to find a weed, let me tell you. I'll show you down the row here. Looking pretty good. There's some blossoms already coming on the beans. Let me take a closer look here so you can see. Kind of see a few blossoms on there. When they did spray it, it did get a little touch of a chemical burn from the spray, and they're coming out of that real good, so that isn't going to be no problem. You can see the little pods down there starting to form where all the little purple flowers are. They're coming. It's going to be a good year, pretty good, I think. Never know. Anything can happen, but so far, so good. I'm going to show you on the other edge of this bean field. That was the cornfield I was just in, except for I was on the other side of the cornfield. And you can kind of get an overview of the cornfield there. Try to zoom in a little bit. Anyways, it's doing pretty decent. Looking pretty good. I'm happy so far. I'm more happier with the corn, but the beans are, give them another 2-3 weeks, they're gonna look really good. So I'm gonna put this on pause until I get up to the area up here ahead where beans were up to my waist, and I'm gonna show you the beans up here. That's more of a lower spot, so they got more moisture probably during that little stretch of time when we were getting real dry around here. So they still had moisture, and these up here didn't. So I'll show you those on my way back. We'll be right back with you in just a second. Here's the spot where they're up to almost my waist. They're around 33, 34 inches right in that area. They're really tall. So anyways, just wanted to come out here and check them, so I thought I'd bring you with me. So I hope you enjoyed the little walk, and we'll catch you on the next Wisconsin Greg Show. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for coming. Bye now.